Oh, hey Biafra. Oh, hey Biafra ụmụ Chineke. Ekele m unu. Ụmụ Biafra anyị na-aga n'iru. Ndị ihe dị mma anyị na-aga n'iru. Ụmụ Chukwu okike anyị na-aga n'iru. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. My name is Kizito Njoko. Ụmụ Chineke. Mmeri bụ nke anyị. If you see this video, please try to share it. Both our enemies, try to share it, whether you like it or not. The truth must surely comes out. And anybody in his hand is clean. Nothing can harm that person. Your hand is clean is not when you carry soap or any dish soap to wash your hand. You thought that your hand is clean. No. I mean, in spiritual and physical, if you have nothing, you have did people being bad, and the people try to kid you or people try to pull you down because of your truth or because who you are, believe me, the God of victory is in your side. Only they will just try to shake you. Only they will just try to come. But you shall overcome those things and those challenges. I thank all my Biafran people, the hardcore IPOB. I give thanks to Almighty Chukwu Okike Abiyama for him to be in our side for this victory to become upon us. I thank all of our principal officers. I thank all of our legal team. I thank our leadership, HOD, Mazi Chike Edoziem. I thank all those who love to be free and those who like freedom. I can tell you that our fight and our prayer and our practical and our rally being all over the world is not being in vain. I say may God bless every one of you people. I thank OHAMADIKE, the man who speaks and stands for his works. The man who said that he will never disappoint us, except we will disappoint him. And if you can turn around, you will know that some falling apart. I know that the victory shall be us, because a good thing doesn't come easy. No matter how things comes, we shall be victory. Nnamdi Kanu discharged and acquitted. Since on 13th of this month, Nigeria was be trembling. Nigeria have never get peace. Why they are living Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Why this, why that? People try to come on social media to talk. People try to come and have fame. People came online to try to know themselves. I mean, I see many things I begin to laugh. Listen, no matter what happened, the victory is us. Nnamdi Kanu is a blessed child. Nnamdi Kanu is a hero. That is the reason why some people come online, they try to use influence of him to be shining. I just see Asari Dokubo was talking many things. I see Ijeredem was talking many. Listen to me. Nnamdi Kanu is free. Forget about the Office of Antler General of Federation of Nigeria, Abubakar Malami, tried to come to say that Nnamdi Kanu has been discharged but not acquitted. What does it mean that? I mean, what are they even talking about? In the December Federal High Court, they say that Nnamdi Kanu, all his charges they have, no even, in fact, he have discharged automatically and acquitted. Even people trying to romancing the world, trying to be turning around the world. Let me tell you guys, the victory is us. Only referendum now we need. We don't need all that thing. I have seen some of my friends, they tell me that P2B is coming to do election. P2B is an Igbo. Let me tell you guys, for this our fight we are fighting, we IPOB, we stand and we stood for freedom. We are not standing for election. Be who you are. We don't speak it, make you don't hate us. We don't say you shouldn't hate us. But we, IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, we stand for what? Freedom. We have nothing against Impito. He's our brother, and I'm not here to campaign for him. He's our uncle, he's our brother. We love him because he's our brother. As he is important in Igbo land also. Forget about the presidential election. He's an Biafran. And he can never say that he's not a Biafran. Because if he turn against Biafra, the ancestors of the land would destroy him. He know that. And definitely, he also, because I was seeing one interview they are doing to him, they say that the proscribed indigenous people called IPOB, he said that they are not, he don't believe that they are terrorists. He said it. Because if he accepted that the indigenous people of Biafra who want independence, want the future of his own generation, if he agreed and accepted that we are the proscribed people, he also is the one of the proscribed. Yes. So I came here not say much, just to thank Almighty Chukwu Okike and the legal team, Max Zokume, and our legal team being the lawyers them. There are many, I can't mention their name. Barrister Joffo, the man who said and stand with his feet. We thank every one of you. Aloye Jima called them. We thank everyone fighting assiduously to make sure that our leader must be released. I thank every one of you people. Those and enemies has been by the side to be gossiping us, putting problem, putting counter-motion for our legal team and for our leadership. They want to see evidence to use to be against IPOB. We are moving forward. Odogu anakpogu n'anya osike bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Onatradike mwa one kizi na la Biafra. I have seen some people say that we IPOB, we Biafrans, we support P2B. Let me tell you, before the Nigerian war came, what bring Nigerian war by the way? Is it not this Gowon? Let me tell you guys, Gowon must be alive until Biafra comes. Because it's Gowon who bring this agony and this pain for us today. When they went to Aburi Accord to negotiate with our formidable leader being Odumegwu Ojukwu, they have agreed how Nigeria will be. Okay, since British have been trying to put us together, we say, okay, let's be on together, but let every state be their own autonomy. Kedihe Froka, what is the cause? The same thing now, they say that the people will come and rule to make Nigeria to better. Let me tell you the truth. If Nigeria going the way it's going before, to be frank and sincere, if this first thing caused a war, did not cause that war, and the way being in each autonomy the way it's supposed to be, I don't think that this problem today will come. Check it from 1960. Nigeria get independent. How long Igbo man has been ruled? Now they come and kidnap my leader in Kenya, blindfold him to carry him to come in DSS custody in Nigeria. Now they want to give Igbo man president. This is the formatic they are using. This is the gameplay they are using to destroy we Igbos. We understood that. And I want to let you know that this game, it will not work. Igbo, we want freedom. Yes, if in Nigeria goes the way it's supposed to go, believe you me, it is our turn. Because they have been denying us our rights since 1960. Even Goodluck Jonathan has been there. It's just an opportunity. It's just an opportunity during Yar'Adua term. If you come in reality sense of election, Goodluck Jonathan will not be there. You know that? Because they will not allow any Eastern partner to be in that seat. Because they hate us, we Igbos. I don't know the reason why this hatred is coming upon us. Because of an Igbo man. I want to assure you that, you see, in terms of this election of P2B, P2B will win. You see, he have a majority. But I want to let you know, after P2B is win, our P2B is going to be in that seat. They will even refuse to give it to him. So therefore, for those who are trying to be obedient, fine, it is your choice. I'm a Democrat by nature. Be who you are, be where you want to be. It doesn't cost me nothing, but all I want is freedom. That is where I stood on my own. Yes. Peter Obi, they will deny him. We know that. Suffice that an Igbo man, they will not allow Peter Obi to be there. So, in any case, they say it's our turn, it's our turn. It's our turn. And it's our turn for freedom. We want freedom. It's freedom we need. I don't want to be being presidential today. Tomorrow when I step down, the things still continue beating us. We continue generalize, keep on beating us. No, we don't want that. We want freedom. Freedom is something you can have in your life. You live long. It's freedom. Yes. So, all those things you are talking about, election, okay, how many months remain? How many months? It's about close to the near door. Some say that they want to leave Nnamdi to destroy the plans of the presidential election of turn of Ndibo. Shut up. I say shut up. When you have a 3-child, you are giving the 2 child their own right. 1 child doesn't give it to him. Since many years, now you want to remember the child where you are denying his own pride and his own right. Now you want to come and use it to be suppress us with looking for freedom. I don't think that it happened. Some people say that if Obi is there, it's going to change many. What Obi is going to change? Good luck. Jonathan wanted to change before. Do you remember? Was it Kwankoso or Manami who threatened a good luck Jonathan during the Boko Haram issue? He said that if he touch any Northern or anything and he touch me, something like that, you can check it. So anybody doesn't distrust us for what we are doing. We are standing for freedom. That's all we are. Nnamdi Kanu is free, but people, they are exaggerating, talking. I thought that they say that Nnamdi Kanu is in London and giving command is happening in Igbo land for you to know that he's a king. He's a king. You can't deny it. Only jealous they are doing to him. They say that he said that Buhari have died. Come in Nigeria and come and say, but he's in the custody of Nigeria. Why then can bring that issue out? Not only that issue can make Nigeria to divide in a seconds. He's in Nigeria custody. Ask Nnamdi Kanu, which evidence do you have a Buhari is not a Buhari again? Only that one is enough. Only that one can make Nigeria to divide. If you say that Nnamdi Kanu should be in the proof. So we are not here to say much, only to share this video. My name is again Kizito Njoko. Try to share this video. Let our people know where we stand and where we are heading to. Only freedom we want. Some people say, some of my friends see me here, those who believe obedient, because I've told you that I'm a democratic by my nature. Anywhere you feel to be, you be. Your ideology and your own ideas welcomed. But let all I want to me to be, let your own we want to be. I want to let you know, some say that we should vote to Obi. Before Peter Obi coming up about this presidential election, we already talk about Biafra. So this is strategy they want to use to be divide us. Okay, we come and support Obi. Those who want to support Obi, support Obi. I'm not here to campaign for Obi. If you want to support Obi, so you are free. But all we stand is for freedom. Okay, for them want to come and use it to be divide us, okay, we should support Obi. If Obi for, they say, hey, Biafra people, why you come out? You know, this is nonsense. We are not in that kind of category. We pass for the, like our leader said, that we are across the Rubicon, point of no returning back. All we need is for referendum and the Biafra. That's all. Once again, you can see the titles of these people, the way they used to kill us. Some people are marrow. Look at some of our eastern states now. Some part of Kogi. Look at the way river just ne bushumunani. Akwandi bukani midi henda. Umi bachori mani. All the allocation nunaga of each state. Kedi hindi lekota wani jemega. When they give 3 years for their own pocket and they send their children overseas in diaspora here, by the end of the day, it will has about to election. They obedient now. Before obedience comes out, we are already been there fighting for. If not Nnamdi Kanu, obedient or getting one airport. Nnamdi Kanu would the old. If not Nnamdi Kanu, believe me, don't you know that these people plan not to Islamize us? Some of you people could have been answering Aisha and Amina. Of course. If not OHAMADIKE one. Who can stand the. So, please, my brothers, support us Biafrans. Yes. All you might be hate me. I know that the one I said may be not good in you, but I don't care. All I stand for freedom. I stand for tomorrow if 4 years. Then what next? Before the 80s, are you sure say you're going to be in there? Because I know that so far as an Igbo man, they will not allow him. We know that. So, Nnamdi Kanu, you're highly welcome. Some people jigine make some fame, never talk or anything they like. All we need is freedom. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you're highly welcome. I thank every one of you people. Share this video. You can see the way our people dying. Every day nebu munani. Onye putrabaku who team even P2B. Or putrabaku tej nebu munani. On happen in hand naiku. Yes, I see one video they're interviewing him about IPOP. They prescribe IPOP, this, that. Now, which now we are not prescribed again. Discharged and acquitted. We are not even terrorists again. Terrorists on Apotaba rally. Terrorists can never travel, go and do rally. Terrorists can never go European Parliament, go and do rally. So, it's just a matter of wasting of time. P2B, they interview him, ask him, they prescribe IPOP. Do you support them, this, that? He said that he can't believe that they are prescribed. Yeah, he said it. Go and check the interview. I'll even tag it here. Because if he said that we are prescribed, he's included. So, who doesn't know what is the good thing to do it? So, Umuchineke, share this video. I'm sorry for our people who lost their children or their people for this erosion. It's very sad. Of course, bad government. It's not bad government causing all those things. Our people, they are dying. Those allocations we are having in each state. Mega. At times, we don't need to blame. I told you that Hausa Yoruba is not our problem. Some problem is our people. Most especially our leaders. They are our problem. That is why we need to get Biafra to stop this nonsense and this mess. It's too much. Please, I'm not here to say much, please. Thank you for watching my video. Share it and celebrate with us. Victory is on our way. No matter how enemy have to, we conquer. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the press, for honoring our invitation to be here this morning. We are very grateful to have you in our midst this morning once again. I want to actually use this opportunity. The God we worship made it possible for that victory to be achieved. It may surprise you all to know that that victory came as a surprise to many people who thought that we should come cap in hand begging them for political solution. But yesterday, the General Justice of the Court of Appeal didn't digress to any form of they spoke nothing but the law presented before them to dedicate upon. So we are immensely grateful to God. I also want to use this opportunity to appreciate my client, my indefatigable client, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for being there for us, for his understanding, for his confidence and belief, and also our judgment and advice. And he has been resilient, firm, and strong. We thank God for his life. We can also thank him for his understanding once again. And I also use this opportunity to also appreciate our erudite lead counsel, Chief Michael Zekome. His presence in this case changed narratives. I call him a man of letters because I work closely with him and appreciate the type of person he is. Many may not know that a lot was done by persons who supposed to be part of this success story to frustrate Chief Mike Ozekome from giving him his best in this case. This case, he relatively done it on pro bono. He relatively did it on pro bono. He was, every strategy was deployed towards frustrating him, but he said no, because he's on a divine mandate. I want to appreciate him. I may not go into details, but I want to appreciate him so immensely for also believing in me too, and believing in my convictions and judgment too. Marx also appreciates so greatly the contribution of Her Excellency Mrs. Kanu, the wife of Mazi Nnamdi. Her words of encouragement, wise counseling, and also believe in us throughout this terrific moment period. Even when those who are also supposed to be part of this success story were ferociously working against us, blackmailing us, doing things possible to chase us away from this case, this woman remained firm, remained strong in her convictions and believed in us. I must appreciate her. Also, my thanks also go to my friend and also my client, Adjike Dozem. He's a gentleman who also believed in us. It was a very hard fight, but thank God today that we have achieved the victory, the long-awaited victory. I appreciate him too. I also want to appreciate my professional colleagues who were part of this story, this success story. The contribution of my erudite head of chambers, for example, Mrs. Chimumeche, cannot be overemphasized. I also want to mention Master Opera, Nemeke Jofa, and of course, Aloy Jumako. Those who work tirelessly to ensure that we get to where we are today. Of course, I cannot conclude this piece without appreciating so immensely my wife, who has been there for me, for her prayers, and also my lovely children for their prayers. I cannot thank them all. My thanks also goes to the erudite, formidable media warriors, who has been there for us, who has been taking bullets for me in particular. When the enemies were on rampage, doing everything humanly, they were taking the bullets from me. My thanks goes to, I will single two of them out to appreciate. Not that the others didn't contribute, they did excellent work. Because when they were taking this bullet, I was busy working. I never lost focus. I was giving my best, doing all things we can, working behind the scene to ensure that we get the best results. I will not forget to mention persons like Ken Guruago. They are there for us at every given time. They were there taking bullets for us. I must appreciate them. May they remain blessed. They are too numerous to mention. They are too numerous to mention. Kanu who were there praying for us. Reverend fathers, bishops, Catholic priests, and call them, name them. Traditional worshippers who are also praying to ensure that we get to where we are today. I must immensely appreciate them. It is a time to appreciate those who work tirelessly to ensure that we get to where we are today, because I know that this is the end of the game, no matter what. You all were in court yesterday to hear from the court, to listen to the judgment of the Court of Appeal. Unfortunately, those that didn't have opportunity to listen to the judgment of the Court of Appeal, we are busy discussing issues that were never mentioned. They are discussing irrelevant issues that were never discussed, even discussed by the court. But it's important for me to say it. Yesterday, the Court of Appeal unanimously allowed our appeal, resolved the fundamental issues on the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria in our favor, and also lambasted the federal government for its executive recklessness. And it's important for me to highlight this fact. The court held unanimously that the manner in which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was abducted in Kenya and extraordinary rendition to Nigeria was in gross violation of extant laws. Particularly those laws, Nigeria is a state party. Particularly those laws Nigeria ratified, which is today in operation. I will take the privilege of mentioning some of these laws, because it's important for me to highlight before addressing President of the Federation. Some of these laws the court mentioned yesterday, the court also referred to Section 15 of Extradition Act, Cap E25 LFN. This section deals extensively with the procedures for extraditing a citizen from another country, which is operational in Nigeria. It's a law ratified in the country. It's a Nigerian law. 2. Article 12, Sub 4 of African Charter of Human and People's Rights. This is a law Nigeria also violated. Also, mutual assistance in criminal matters within the Commonwealth, Enactment and Enforcement Act, Cap M24, Laws of Federation 204. This is a law operational in Nigeria. Nigeria violated it in the course of abduction and extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu. Now, also on point is Article 1312 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948, and also OHAMADIKE Convention on the Prevention and Combating of Terrorism, which also provide for similar conditions to be adhered to in the extradition of a first citizen. Nigeria was in breach of these fundamental laws. Now, the court held and unanimously that the breach of this law constitutes a bar to further prosecution of Nnamdi Kanu in any court in Nigeria. The court held that the lower court has no jurisdiction whatsoever on the grounds of this. So, in the first place, if you look at the trial, to start the trial, commence the trial, a court lacks jurisdiction to defend this charge, and as such, Nnamdi Kanu should be released. Now, let me clarify. It is true, granted, that conventionally, when the defendant is discharged of offenses allegedly committed, it's expected that the state may have the right to litigate on the same subject matter in exceptional circumstances. But in this case, the court proceeded to hold that in as far as there is an egregious violation of these extant laws, that no court will prosecute Nnamdi Kanu, no court will try Nnamdi Kanu. Even the lower court will not try him. So what's expected in circumstance is for the government to immediately comply with the directives and order of the court. As it stands today, Nnamdi Kanu yesterday becomes illegally held in the custody of the Nigerian government. We were expecting the order to be made available to us by 3 p.m. today, as assured by the Justice of the Court of Appeal. So we can now take the appropriate step to ensure that he's released as quick as possible. It's also good to emphasize that in a similar climate where we have constitutional democracy, where the rule of law reigns supreme, it's expected without being told that the person of Attorney General of the Federation, regardless of that prejudice to this person and office he occupied, should have by yesterday honorably tendered his resignation as the Minister of Federation, because he has exposed this country to ridicule. It's not in doubt that at the point Nnamdi Kanu was abducted in Kenya. Because it's also important to emphasize, just like where I listened to people analyzing this morning, court didn't say arrest. Court of Appeal in his judgment yesterday in the unanimous didn't mention arrest. They agreed up with us in totality that Nnamdi Kanu was abduction. Abduction, kidnapping was featured prominently in the judgment of the court. They agreed with us because in the manner in which he was abducted, in Kenya. He wasn't arrested. Now, and it was partial to the advice of the Attorney General of the Federation that the federal government sneak into another country to abduct a citizen without subjecting him to the extradition proceedings. And on the ground, that ground alone, the federal government, the Attorney General of the Federation should have been resigned honorably without being asked, without a further prompting. I am not contesting the fact they have right of appeal to Supreme Court. It's a constitutional right. But what is sacrosanct at this point in time is that they must wholly and in totality comply with the order of the Court of Appeal, which directed that Nnamdi should be released immediately. They will not be in breach of this order, in contempt of this order, and apply it to Supreme Court for review or for appeal. They must comply without further ado. So it's expected, of course, they were called yesterday to when the judgment was read. But of course, unfortunately, I believe that the learned Attorney General of the Federation, I don't think he is conversant, or maybe he has the full gist of the judgment, of the fact of the judgment delivered yesterday, because he won't be writing what he said yesterday. So the federal government is being called upon as quick as possible to comply with the order of court. Now, it's interesting to mention to the public, to the world, this argument was extensively canvassed in our various applications, in our application before the lower court, and also on appeal. Now, in 2016, there's a thesis that was captioned United Nations Office on Drug and Crime, country office in Nigeria, published a 691 page of thesis titled Cases and Materials on Extradition in Nigeria. I have the book. I look at the book. This is the book. They call it Cases and Materials on Extradition in Nigeria. Now, it will interest the press and the world to know that in this book, these cases and materials on extradition in law, the forward to this book was written by no person than learned Attorney General of the Federation. He wrote the forward. Now, you understand, me and you understand what forward means. When a forward is written on a book, that means you sanctioned. You have gone through the content of that book and you sanctioned the content. Now, I will tell you something now, because it's important for you to know. Now, in this book, it's at pages 4 to 5 of that book. The Attorney General that I mentioned to you, having sanctioned that book, critically condemned extraordinary rendition in this book. He critically condemned in page 4-5. I can give you, it's 29, it's very, very bulky. Condemn extraordinary rendition. In his words, quote, listen to me carefully, in his word, the AG Federation Malami stated, it is easy to confuse extradition with rendition. Rendition is a general term for all procedures, including extradition, for returning wanted persons or aliens generally from a state. Unlawful or irregular forms of returning persons wanted for unlawful or irregular forms of returning persons wanted for trial or punishment include abduction. In his words, include abduction. Not what happened in this specific case. Abduction and so-called extraordinary rendition. Now he proceeded. Extraordinary rendition is a government-sponsored arrest. Are you with me? Kidnap and abduction of persons wanted, accused or convicted of a criminal offense, either to the state who sponsored the arrest or kidnap or abduction, or to a willing third-party state. Extraordinary rendition denies a person of the right to challenge his transfer to the requesting or receiving state. It involves the violation of the principle of international laws, especially where the persons transferred are subjected to torture. Are you with me? Or sham criminal charge or trial. The Duke Affair of 1984 is an example of an attempt at unlawful rendition. After a coup d'etat in 1983, the federal military government of Nigeria requested the British government to surrender OHAMADIKE, a former minister of federation, alleged to have been involved in corrupt practices. Now, the facts of what happened in Diko's case is very clear to the world. It's a matter of common knowledge. The British government intercepted and refused the phrase and taking him away from the UK. Now, this is the wordings of AG Federation. So you won't tell me that it's not familiar with what extraordinary indignation means and the effect of it on the effect of it on the state on the just state. By so doing, this man has exposed the country to ridicule. And I can assure you one thing, because I'm in this case, I can assure you one thing. Some international courts where these matters are pending are waiting for court pronouncement for Nigerian court to exhaust their legal remedies before they can embark on their own adjudication. They are waiting. And the pronouncement of Court of Appeal yesterday is apt on the point. It will entail further actions before the international court. We also entail certain persons being blacklisted, certain persons being arrested somewhere on account of the gross violation of international laws. It will happen in the course of time. Now, yesterday someone asked about the damages payable, accruable on account of this violation of Nnamdi Kanu's right. Because of course, Court of Appeal yesterday stated clearly that his right was grossly violated on account of the extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria. That may interest you to know that we have already filed an action before the Federal High Court, wherein we raised some fundamental issues. We have invited the court to interpret relevant sections of these conventions, charter, and theatres to determine whether the federal government is in breach of this law. And those questions have been answered in the affirmative yesterday, that the federal government is in breach of this law. That matter is pending before Honorable Justice Eko of Court Number 5 and is coming up for full hearing on the 14th day of December 2022. And in that case, what we'll be asking for now, the matters having been determined, major issues that are raising before the court to determine upon, to pronounce upon, have been determined by Court of Appeal. We are asking for court to award damages in the sum of 50 billion against the federal government in compensation of as reparation for broad violation of Nnamdi Kanu's right. So it's important to highlight this part. So the court didn't also condemn the executive recklessness yesterday. The court didn't stop at declaring that the lower court has no jurisdiction to attend the charge. The court also, the pronouncement of court yesterday, constitute a further ban. You understand what I mean by constitution of a further ban? So as it stands today, no Nigerian court will ever try Nnamdi Kanu. No Nigerian court will ever entertain any charge today, as far as this matter is concerned, or any other matter is concerned, without determining the manner in which he was brought into the country. And thankfully, yesterday the Court of Appeal have resolved that issue. That judgment is a watertight judgment. You can agree with me. You were here yesterday. It's a watertight judgment, and I don't know how they are going to escape from it. But what you are calling the federal government to do in the present case is to immediately comply with the order of court, judgment of the Court of Appeal. Without further ado, thank you so much. I can entertain your questions if any further question, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. If I recall properly, immediately after the judgment, completely the AGF issued a statement. I think somewhere they said that what the court only did was the issue of the religion. They have 5 camp churches which predates the religion issue. And we were surprised. Is it not from the 5 camp churches that people Jensen filed an amended 15 camp church? So I don't know.
So let me thank you so much. Obviously, without prejudice to expressing the person of attorney general, it's important at this point. Something I may not. That should be within that period. And the matter adjourned for trial to October 17, 2017. You and I, all of you here, the pressmen, witnessed what happened between 10th and 14th of September 2017. His premises was invaded on 10th, first invaded on 10th. 3 persons were killed by Nigerian soldiers. Then on 14th, they now went for him. During this bloody invasion, over 28 innocent and unarmed civilians were murdered, were killed, brutally killed. Now, in an attempt, they weren't killed because they want to kill them. They were killed because they were desperately hunting for Nnamdi Kanu to kill him. Then, by sheer act of providence, Nnamdi Kanu not only escaped being killed. Now, it's elementary part of our law, legal jurisprudence, or criminal law, that when a person is facing a trial, assuming you are charged with offense of stealing. Let me just bring it to a level you understand, and also for AG to understand too. Assuming you are charged with offense of stealing, and in the course of enjoying bail granted by the court, you committed another offense, probably offense of armed robbery. There's no law that said that you will not be arrested on account of that offense. And it's easy for them, particularly when you are facing prosecution. They will simply, what Nigerian security agents does is for them to come to the court and wait for you on the day of trial. I will have cases of that nation, creator of cases of that nation. They will come to that court, arrest you, or they will even file a fresh charge. Why they will arrest you is for them to interrogate you on the new offenses, then before they will file any fresh charge. Now, assuming without considering to the fact that the federal government actually wanted any form of prosecution in this case, would they have gone to Nnamdi Kanu's house on 14th of September to kill him? The answer is no. They were waiting for him to come to court on October 10th, October 17th, 2017, to continue his trial. And probably during that period, they were arresting him and investigate him on fresh offense, assuming if he had committed no offense unto law. You have investigate him on the fresh offenses, probably and file fresh charge. And Nnamdi Kanu was ready. He had announced he has passed through pre-trial briefing and conference, preparatory for the trial, fixed for 17th of October. Now, second question: had it been the federal government succeeded, God forbid, in killing Nnamdi Kanu on the 14th of September 2027, will we be talking about this charge today? The answer is no. Now, Nnamdi Kanu, when he surfaced in Israel, state of Israel, he posted an affidavit of facts, stating the facts of what happened in his premises, how he escaped, and in that affidavit, which is now before the public, he made it very clear in that affidavit that he's ready to come back for his trial, but he needs protection from court. He needs court to assure him and give him protection, and assure him that of his protection for him to come back for his trial. This affidavit was filed in court, stating, urging the court to take the application for court to understand, inquire into what happened in his premises on the 14th of September. It was filed in court sometime that same 2017, but the court didn't hear that application. It was pure filing. He didn't hear that application till this year, and at subsequent adjournment, we kept on bringing the fact of that application before the court. That application was not heard until a few months back this year when it was brought to Nigeria. It was forcefully brought to Nigeria. I wasn't had it. Now, Nnamdi Kanu is not in Kenya. He found himself in Kenya or part of Nigeria because of an desperate attempt by the federal government to kill, assassinate him. The law is clear. This international laws when humanitarian is clear. That now you want to arrest him, right? That law, the first count charge you're talking about, which he was facing before an attempt was made at killing him. We have gone on now. If at all they've had submitted into traditional proceedings in Kenya. Are you getting the point I'm making now? Did you know? If they had submitted Nnamdi Kanu to extradition proceedings, then he will go through the proceedings, and at the end of the day, if the court in Kenya found him liable, then he has to come back to Nigeria to face trial. Section 15 of the extradition act says that if he's coming back to Nigeria, he's going to face the trial on that 5-count charge. Now, because they didn't subject him to extradition proceeding, recognized under international laws and covenants and charter conventions, they abducted him, they kidnapped him in Kenya, then brought him to Nigeria. Now, what the court is saying, in view of what you have done, you cannot try him again. He cannot be tried, even on that 5-count, he cannot be tried again. That's what the court says. Because he cannot put something on nothing and expect it to stand. It must fall. The foundation has been spoiled. You cannot build on a shaky foundation. So that 5-count, any count 5 charge he was facing before an attempt was made at killing him can no longer prevail in the circumstance. Because saying, take him back, he has to go. Go back. As he stands today, he cannot face any charge. He's barred from being prosecuted in Nigeria in any court. Whether it's court in Adamawa, or court in Lagos, or court in Anambra, or court in Oburusuzo, or whatever you call them, or Maya. He cannot face any trial again.
Well, what it means in clear balance is that Nnamdi Kanu was discharged today. That means he's a free man, and he should be allowed to go home tomorrow. By the time we get a certified true copy of the judgment, we'll serve it on the office of the Attorney General and the DSS to allow Nnamdi Kanu go. Let my people go. That is how it is put in the Bible.
But Chief Ezekume, we've heard from the federal government right now.
Was not allowing that, there was a problem. Yeah.
We just had the update from the federal government saying that it's just, on a single issue bordering on rendition, and they are looking at taking other legal options, afforded to the government.
The single issue bordering on extraordinary rendition, after he was brutally captured, tortured in Kenya, blindfolded, and extrajudicially rendered back to Nigeria, is what determined it. We put all the facts before the court. The federal government had no answer to any of the allegations. And in law, when we make certain factual allegations and they are not denied, they are deemed admitted. So if the federal government wants to pursue trifles against a citizen by appealing against such a well-rendered judgment, I can only wish them good luck. But let me also tell the federal government, if they appeal, I'm going to file a cross appeal against two of the issues which I do not agree with the Court of Appeal. That is the issue of the status of the place of commission of an offense. Section 45 of the Federal High Court Act and decisions of the Supreme Court make it clear that you can only try a person in a place where you disclose the venue of the commission of the crime, the time, the circumstances. But when you say Nnamdi made a broadcast, from where did he make the broadcast? Is it in the spirit world? Is it in the land of the dead? The Court of Appeal, with all respect, appeared to have glossed over that something by saying, oh, it didn't matter since the charge, the counts did not deceive him. That is not the issue. Supreme Court, look, the Lebanese case that was tried, we all watched it, was it last year? They were accused of having catch of farms in Kanu, but they were tried in Abuja. And the Supreme Court quashed the entire judgment because it is the venue of the commission of a crime that you should try the person. And now the Kanu, you say he made a broadcast. You have not told us where he made this broadcast from. The other one, the Court of Appeal also agree with us, where they said he brought in a transmitter at Oburusuzo in Ihiala local government area of Anambra State, which is outside the jurisdiction of the Federal High Court of Abuja. They also agree with us. But all in all, the issue was jurisdictional. And that is that under the Extradition Act, particularly Section 15, and under international conventions, OAU, United Nations, you cannot extrajudicially render a person by brute force, by force of arms, from one country to another. There must be a warrant of arrest, which must accompany a written document to the host country that we want this person back. They did not do that. They just forced him back. And the doctrine of specialty is that even when you bring such a person back, you can only try him for the offense that you are bringing him back for. But they still subjected Nnamdi Kanu to the first initial 5-count charge, which they later amended to 7 counts. Then they later amended again to 15 counts. Let me tell you, the federal government has amended the counts against Nnamdi Kanu 7 whole times. And at the Federal High Court, I was able to get 8 of the 15 counts dismissed. It was the remaining 7 that the lower court held on to that were today dismissed by the Court of Appeal. The all remaining 7 counts were set aside, and then Nnamdi Kanu was set free, discharged
by the Court of Appeal. The Supreme Court has said such a discharge amounts to discharge and acquittal. If they want to appeal against a mere citizen, when I think the federal government should see this as a good reception, as a matter that is good for the whole country, to bring about normalcy, peace to the southeast, peace to Nigeria, and then you still want to appeal, then my take on it is that it will amount to persecution and no longer prosecution. In any event, why should the federal government, through the DSS, that arrested this man, they are keeping him, they investigated him, they are prosecuting him, they are Lord and Master, the accuser, the prosecutor, the judge. And that cannot be a fair trial or a fair hearing. So what the Court of Appeal did today is what the federal government should have quickly done even before the Court of Appeal intervention. When I wrote Mr. President last week, 38-page letter with 3-page executive summary, begging genuflectingly Mr. President to kindly release Nnamdi Kanu in accordance with the July 20, 2022 decision ruling by the United Nations Working Group on Human Rights, where they say Nnamdi Kanu was extrajudicially rendered to Nigeria and that he was tortured and that the federal government should release him immediately and also pay him compensation.
Chief Ozekeme, I believe that, you know, considering all that you said and seeing as the position of the federal government as well, this might be a matter that still will continue, you know, in the courts. But I think we should leave it there. We'd like to thank you, appreciate your time. I wish we had more time.
Tomorrow, it does not stop Nnamdi Kanu being released. A notice of appeal does not act as a stay of execution, nor does it render a judgment of the lower court invalid. They should release Nnamdi Kanu immediately and let him go. And let peace go.
With people who are living in a sense of hopelessness. If you don't know where the next meal will come from, you become an agitator, you become anything.
Do you agree with the manner in which the federal government handled the case of the agitations in Abia State with the IPOB?
Well, like I said, the only thing I disagree with is naming them terrorists.
You don't think they are?
No, they're not.
Their prescription is...
Definitely not. No, those who took the decision maybe had information I don't have. You know, agents, of course, were done by governors of the service. They are the elected leaders of the place. The elected leaders of the place are living on each other. And I can tell you they're not terrorists. Their people are passed on the road and everything every day. If I can tell you, in our manner, they're civil. Because I meet them and I live with them. And I usually see people gathering and all that. And not one day did I feel a sense of threat or molestation or anything from them, even when they gather. You know, for me.
If I can't you down, and you let me go, I eat you make if I the money. If I'm million a pump to southeast, when I be near below, and I be below, there is danger in the air, but only God will help us. We have talking to God since 1 week now, and this lane should stop. If I can't you down, million a pump to southeast, even I judge you, and the again who just leak na cheba. So I believe God. We have been doing work for almost 7 days in the land. Now watching a crew Cambodia suspend here. Because on the East Cambodia and about and can have an East corner here. Say Belembo. Now the kind of 24 hours. Na Jehovah it may hold bruchi. Now Jesus Christ born why Ibrunwa Fibo. Brain on southeast. Watching a cook. Watching a cook. In the mercy of God, every chineketa, you are kind you down. O face the southeast, we're not pumping now. Well, yesterday is the message. So,